Happy Friday. I'm Marta Nielsen with Utah State University Extension. And today it's Meet Extension, Meet April Litchford, but you've actually seen her here before. So welcome back, April. I'm so glad to get to do another live video here with you today.
Hi, Marta. It's nice to see you this morning and everyone out there. Glad to
Yeah.
be here.
Yeah. So, April, you've come on a few times and talked with us about diabetes friendly recipes and meal planning tips and things like that. But I would love to just learn a little bit more about you. So let me pull up my little box of questions and we'll get started. First, just tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, where you went to school, kind of things like that.
Okay. So I grew up in Davis County when it was still pretty rural. I grew up in Clinton. Now it's not rural anymore. But when I married my husband, I really loved that rural lifestyle. So we moved to Box Elder County almost 26 years ago. So it's been a
Wow.
while. So I've lived in Box Elder County for 26 years. Most of the time I've spent in Tremonton. So I raised my children. I have 5 children, and they go to Bear River High School. So if anybody knows that one, we are Bears, and we have a great time there. I started back to school to get my degree when my youngest daughter, was 9 months old. So I went to Utah State University. They have a great nutrition program up there, and I specialized in dietetics and became a dietitian. And then
So
I stayed.
I
Oh,
have a
go ahead.
question. What led you to want to study dietetics?
Well, I've always been interested in nutrition, how food works, how the body works, and how we can use food to help our body be healthy. Even as a young child, I used to read labels and I would tell my dad, "Hey dad, you don't want to eat that. It has this many calories or it has this much fat." And so he actually banned me from telling him what was in his food when I was a teenager. But when I first started to school after I graduated from high school, I couldn't really find what I wanted. Weaver State University was kind of where I was looking, and they didn't have any kind of nutrition program. So I went there for about a year and a half, and then I got married and started having children, and I decided we'll put it on hold. And
Yeah.
then one day I was looking at Utah State University, ready to go back and finish my degree, and I noticed a nutrition program. And the more I looked into it, the more I was like, that's what I want. I've been looking for that. So Utah State University really had everything I wanted. And when I entered the program, I was amazed at the quality of teachers and the good students in the program. And so that's what led me to become a dietitian. And it was pretty rigorous. It's a 2-year program once you receive most of your general education. And then I had to do 1,000-hour internship that I paid for to be ready to take the exam. And then I took a certifying board exam, so we do have that. And now I'm a registered dietitian nutritionist. So it's
That's awesome.
exciting to work in that field.
One thing, this is kind of a sidebar. One thing that I've found really interesting as I've gotten to learn more about extension and meet some of the folks that work as assistant professors is there are quite a few women in extension, working in extension, who like started careers after having families. And I just think that that's so fascinating. And I love that like there's a place in extension for women who are also mothers and get degrees and are highly educated and have a lot to offer the community. So I love that. I love your story.
Yeah, Extension's been a great place for me to be because I do have a lot of experience being a mom and using my resources effectively to, get through those tight years. My husband started school like a year after we got married. So we actually had been in school for 16 years of our marriage. So
Combined. Yeah.
combined. So he was in school and then I started and then I stayed in school and ended up with a PhD. So we have spent the majority of our marriage in school. And it's been cool though, because our children have been able to see that and really kind of embrace the idea that it's never too late to get education and work in another field. So I've only been with Extension for a year, and that's really my first full-time job after starting to have children. So
Yeah.
it's been, my youngest is now 15, I guess she is. And it was a long road. I was in school most of her growing up years, but now all my children have a good culture of we want continued education and we see the value of it. And so it's been a really good, positive theme. And extensions really helped me just use my skills as a mother, as a nutritionist, and as just a community member to really help my community and build good programs here.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, well, but I cut off your story. I mean, you didn't even finish. So you became a registered dietitian. Then what?
So then I stayed at Utah State University because I've always had a passion for teaching, and I love teaching. That's just kind of what has always driven me to keep going. And so I stayed and got my master's done, and I was also an adjunct professor with the nutrition department. And then when I was like, I'm done, I'm getting a job. And then I had a great opportunity to stay and finish a PhD and remain as an adjunct at the nutrition department. So, and my heart is there. I love teaching the students. They have some of the best students at Utah State University. So it was a little difficult to leave that academic world and those students that I just love and come to a county position where I'm doing more outreach for the county residents instead of college students. Yeah. But it has also had its reward in other ways, and I still get to teach. So it's a really good win.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. So we talked about what you studied in school and kind of what led you there. What drew you to working as an extension agent? Like, were you familiar with extension growing up? You said you grew up in what used to be rural Davis County.
I did a little bit of 4-H when I was growing up, but I didn't do a whole lot with it. When I moved to Box Elder County, though, I had some really good friends that we kind of formed a club. So we had a little 4-H club for a few years with our kids, and we did cooking. I did the cooking and she did the sewing and crafts, and we just kind of did that in the summer. So the kids had something to put in the fair, and so it was a really fun thing to do. But when I was in my undergraduate work at Utah State University, I got to do some internship work with Ann Henderson, who was the faculty in Box Elder County at the time. And I got to work with the Food Sense program, which is the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program education for Box Elder County.
Now known as Create Better Health.
And it was so rewarding. I had so much fun because I know how to cook. I love to cook. I know a lot about food. So it was just a great opportunity to go and share what I know with people who wanted to learn. I had been familiar with that. To me, that was what extension was food and nutrition. It's a lot more than that, as I'm learning. But I always thought, I could do community education. I could do this work. And so when this position came open in my own county, I was really excited to be part of it.
Oh, that's great. All right. Before I ask my next question, April, can you move a little bit centered on your screen? There you go.
Yes. There we go.
Perfect.
Looks different on my screen.
I know. So folks tuning in, you see both of us. April only sees me, so she can't see what her frame looks like for all of you. Tell me about working in Box Elder County. Like, what are the challenges people in Box Elder County are facing, or some of the programs that you're running there to help people in Box Elder?
I love Box Elder County. Some of the greatest people live here. They are hardworking, family-oriented people, and they have a really good connection with the earth and growing things, and just great people here. So some of our challenges, though, can be pretty difficult. We have a great deal of mental health issues in our county. About 33% of our residents struggle with some form of mental illness, mental health problems. And so,
is that proportional? Like, is that more so than in other places, or is that pretty on par with? No,
we actually are higher, one of the higher in the state. And we actually have a really high suicide rate, which is also really sad and hard to deal with. And it's something that it's been here for a long time. My children have dealt with it through their growing up. And so one of the things I wanted to do when I got here, even though it's not my expertise, is to really work on helping people in our community connect with resources that will help them improve their mental health.
Yeah.
So we've had quite a few events. We had a trap shoot last spring where we came and we brought people in and we talked about it. And we've been a part of other events in the county to really help people start talking about it and get the word out that we need to talk about our mental health, because it really helps. We're doing an event tomorrow where we have a women's conference. We have a lot of girls 18 and older, or 8 years old and older, can come with their family and their moms and their grandmas and aunts and just enjoy a morning with us talking about mental health and how to connect and build relationships. So
that's fantastic.
That's one thing I've loved, is doing that.
Okay, so if folks are around Box Elder County and want to go to the women's conference, do they need to sign up? Is that something they can still
our sign-up's
come?
closed, unfortunately,
Okay.
but we're hoping if we get enough interest, you can reach out to me and we can maybe do another one, because we would be happy to do that.
That's fantastic. Okay, yeah, sounds great.
Then we have a high rate of diabetes in our county, and prediabetes, which is pretty on par with the rest of the state. It's about 13% of our residents, which is right at about 7,500 people struggle with that. And so we have started some diabetes courses. We have a virtual class that we do, and then we're doing a face-to-face cooking class, which is so fun because we come and we talk about diabetes and how to manage symptoms, and we cook a meal. And so it's been a really fun experience there.
Okay, do you do like sampling? Do people get to try what you're cooking when you do those face-to-face?
They cook. They get to cook. We have stations set up and they cook the meal, and we talk about why this is good for diabetes health and how they can do this at home. We give them a cookbook and they learn all kinds of techniques and tricks to reduce carbohydrates and increase fruits and vegetables and all those good things that help people with diabetes. So it's been really fun. It's been a great program.
That sounds like it would be a fun date night. I mean, not your intent, but learn something, spend time together, cook a meal together, eat. It sounds great.
Yeah, and we invite all participants to sign up to bring one support person. So we've had a lot of couples come and enjoy the experience together.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Arvin commented that they're watching from Elmo, Utah. Hello, thanks for watching.
Yes,
so
awesome.
so your in-person classes, those are, obviously for folks that live in Box Elder County, because that's, going to be the closest for them. But your virtual classes are open to anyone who wants to come.
Yes.
So I can grab the link for that and post that in the comments when we're done. So if you're interested in learning more about diabetic cooking, you can join one of April's virtual classes. And
virtual classes are super fun because we give you the recipe beforehand and we do a food demo along with the class, so you can cook with us and see how we do it, learn all the tips and tricks, and then when you're done, you have a great meal that you can enjoy.
I love that. Just pull it up on your phone, put it in your kitchen, cook along. Yep. That's great. And last time we talked, April, we were talking about diabetic friendly breakfast ideas. And I'm not diabetic, I don't have diabetic people in my family, but it was so helpful for me to learn that information and learn about, staying power of a meal. And we talked about my 6-year-old who gets hungry and doesn't eat the school lunch and needs a really fulfilling, good breakfast. So they're really good tips and good ideas for anyone, particularly though for people who are pre-diabetic or diabetic.
Diabetes, they go for everyone because they're just, little changes that help us improve our health. So anyone is welcome to join.
Right. And you're only going to share delicious recipes. So
right. And they're all so good.
Yeah. So I love that. Everyone, please join April's class. I hope you get lots of signups after this. All right. What is your favorite part about working for Extension? Working in Box Elder County, doing what you do? You've been there for a year. What's been your favorite thing so far?
The relationships. Just getting to know new people, hearing the impact that I'm having. That to me is the whole point. It's a hard job. It's exhausting sometimes. But when I know that I've really made a difference in something that I've done and information I've shared has changed someone's life, that to me is probably the best thing about this, is when I get those little emails. Hey, I loved this event. It was so good and it did this for my family. Or I learned this. I had one lady tell me, I've been diabetic for years, probably 5 or 6 years. And she's like, my doctor's always frustrated with me because I can't control my blood sugar, but I watched your virtual class and learned what I was doing wrong, and my blood sugar has been in control for 3 weeks. And I was like, that to me is a win. Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. Just so rewarding to be able to help people.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, those are the questions that I had. Are there any other things that you'd like to share, particularly if there are folks in Box Elder who are watching? Any last thoughts that you want to share with folks?
I don't know. I just feel really fortunate to be able to be in a job where I get to know new people. I get to cook all the time. I'm always doing cooking things. We do a cooking class for our 4-H kiddos, a virtual cooking class that is so much fun. And we just enjoy it. We're doing it next Thursday. We're learning how to use waffle makers to make meals. And so it's so much fun. But if you have any other ideas that I can help meet a need or be part of any kind of efforts to improve health and wellness in my community, I would be more than happy. So you're happy to help. So please reach out to me. You can email me at april.litchford@usu.edu. And I'm just excited for the new opportunities that are coming my way.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, April, it was so fun to get to know you a little bit better. I'm excited to hear about how your conference goes tomorrow, and your virtual classes going forward. Like I said, I hope you get lots of signups after this.
Thank you, and I do too. I want everyone to join. It's so much fun.
Oh, that's great. All right. Well, I hope you all have a happy Friday. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you all next time.